The sun blazed brightly as young Malik walked into the neighborhood pool, his heart racing with anticipation. It was supposed to be a relaxing day, enjoying the cool water with his friends. But for Malik, a 14-year-old black boy who had been bullied at school for as long as he could remember, this was not just any day. The kids at the pool were already there, some laughing, some splashing around, but a group of older boys, led by Jason, were eyeing Malik. Jason and his friends had made his life miserable at school. Malik's quiet demeanor and love for martial arts, which he had learned from his grandfather, were not things they understood. But Malik's sense of pride in his discipline was something that Jason despised. Jason had always been the type to assert dominance, and he saw Malik as an easy target, someone he could push around to feel bigger. Today, they had decided that Malik would be their target again, and they weren't going to stop until they had broken him. Unaware of Malik's inner strength and his secret martial arts training, they made their move. Malik stepped into the shallow end of the pool, trying to remain calm. He wasn't here to fight, he just wanted some peace. But as he made his way toward a quieter corner, he felt the presence of Jason and his group closing in on him. The pool, which should have been a haven, felt like a trap. Jason pushed Malik into the deeper end of the pool, a cruel grin spreading across his face. The others joined in, laughing as they taunted Malik. The water splashed around them as they pushed him further, dunking him under. Malik tried to stay afloat, gasping for air. His heart pounded in his chest. "You think you're so special with all that martial arts crap?" Jason sneered. "Let's see how tough you are now." Malik's mind flashed back to his grandfather's lessons that had taught him to stay calm under pressure, to trust in his body and mind. But today was different. The bullies weren't letting up. As they continued their assault, Malik realized he might be in real danger. His body began to feel heavy, his lungs burning for air, but he refused to panic. Just when it seemed like Malik was at his breaking point, a surge of clarity washed over him. He had been taught to fight with precision and control, not recklessly or out of anger. Despite the overwhelming pressure, Malik's martial arts instincts kicked in. As one of the bullies lunged at him, Malik used a swift defensive move his grandfather had taught him, a move designed to deflect an attacker and regain control. He grabbed the bully's wrist, twisted it, and with a smooth motion, sent him crashing into the pool's edge. The group of boys froze for a moment, stunned by Malik's strength and skill. Malik took a deep breath, pushing himself off the pool floor and rising to the surface. He wasn't going to let them win. He didn't want to fight. He just wanted to be left alone. But the bully's cruelty left him with no choice. Jason and the others were now fully aware that Malik wasn't the weak, helpless target they thought he was. His quick, precise movements had shocked them. But they weren't ready to back off. One of them, Luke, grabbed Malik from behind, trying to hold him underwater. Jason smirked, urging his friends on. "Let's see how long you last, tough guy." But Malik had been trained for moments like this. He remembered his grandfather's advice: when you're overwhelmed, use your opponent's strength against them. With one swift move, Malik shifted his weight, pushing himself into a roll and breaking free from Luke's grasp. The fight was no longer about survival. It had become about protecting himself, his dignity, and proving that he would not be broken. With each move, Malik showed the bullies that they had underestimated him. His speed, precision, and sheer will to survive were not something they could easily overcome. As the struggle continued, Malik's sense of fear began to dissipate. In its place, a calm focus took over. He could feel the rhythm of his body in the water, the control his martial arts training gave him. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, he was in control of the situation. Despite their larger numbers, the bullies were no match for Malik's calculated responses. He avoided their clumsy attempts to grab him, sidestepping their attacks with grace. When one of them came at him again, Malik grabbed his arm, twisting it in a way that left the bully helpless. The group of bullies was now scrambling, confused, and frustrated. Jason, realizing they were losing control of the situation, screamed at the others to push harder. But Malik was no longer fighting in desperation. He was fighting with the confidence of someone who knew his worth, who understood his own strength. The lifeguard's whistle echoed in the air as he rushed over to stop the conflict. He immediately ordered Jason and his friends to get out of the pool. Malik, still calm, watched as the bullies scrambled to climb out, their heads down in shame. Jason, who had once been so confident, was now panting, his face flushed with anger and embarrassment. Malik, his chest still heaving, finally allowed himself a moment to relax. He had been pushed to his limits, but he had made it through. The bullies were gone, retreating with their tails between their legs, realizing they had underestimated Malik. The lifeguard, seeing that the situation had calmed down, asked Malik if he was okay. Malik nodded, but he didn't need to say much. He had proven something far more important than his ability to defend himself. He had shown that strength comes from within. The lifeguard turned to the other kids in the pool, shaking his head at the bullies. They were no longer the top dogs. They had been outsmarted and outmaneuvered by a kid they thought was weak. Malik, on the other hand, stood tall, his pride intact, knowing he had done what needed to be done. Chapter 7. The aftermath and redemption in the following days, Malik's story spread throughout the community. The bullies, now humbled, kept their distance, and the other kids looked at Malik with a newfound respect. It wasn't just about the fight, it was about Malik's courage to stand up for himself when no one else had. Malik didn't seek attention or praise. He wasn't interested in proving a point or showing off his martial arts skills. But as the word spread, people started to see him differently. He wasn't just a quiet, bullied kid anymore. He was someone who had faced adversity head-on and come out on top. For Malik, this was more than just a victory over the bullies. It was a turning point in his life. He had learned that true strength comes from within, from the confidence in who you are and the ability to remain calm in the face of chaos. And while the bullies may have retreated, Malik knew this was only the beginning of his journey. One where he would continue to grow stronger, not just physically but mentally and emotionally as well.